Hello, everybody. I still had my announcer voice on. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to more Enter the Gungeon.
Let's get ready to race.
Are you ready to race? Rhapsody.
In the red corner, weighing in at I don't know pounds.
Don't you dare guess.
Versus... In the red corner, weighing in at 44,000 subs. I mean, that's what we have to do, right?
I guess so.
You might know him as Reto, the beast from the east, the blessed from the west. We don't really know any particular cardinal direction from which he hails. Reto Retromation!
Oh my god! Oh, I'm blessed to be here. I know they don't do that in wrestling. I'm back. Thank you, guys. Thanks. I feel God in this Chili's tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. We can have such a good time. Woo!
I'm so excited to fight today.
Let's have a good wholesome fight.
I had a good breakfast. I'm ready to rumble, as they say.
What did you have for breakfast?
I probably had a Nature Valley bar because that is like all I've been having for breakfast. What did you have for breakfast? Yours was more recent. What did you have?
Nothing so far.
Oh, God. I'm so disappointed that I'm going to start in
straight to lunch.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, so disappointed.
We did have to find a way to actually start the episode, otherwise we were just going to stay there on the start screen and just do a podcast.
Yeah, Reto and Rhaps do the podcast. Oh my goodness.
So I got a chest at the end of my first room. I want you to know it is the proximity mine. You are totally fine. Don't worry. It's okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I got the Huntsman on mine. Oh? That's actually, you know, for Robot, that ain't bad. That ain't bad for Robot. Nice and
pretty accurate, and you have access to extra damage pretty readily.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, man. I had a second tab with questions, but unfortunately Chrome destroys my frame rate, so I had to tab it out. It's a thing that I've done before. There's are you familiar with the 36 questions for love?
I am not. No. I'm familiar with 35 of them. Okay.
I unfortunately don't know them by heart, but it's something that I've done in the Isaac race where Etheron and I had the goal to, over the course of the series, ask each other all the questions and fall in love by the end of it, because it's the 36 questions for love. But unfortunately, I've forgotten them. But I know one of them. I know one of them off the top of my head.
Alright, well that can be this episode's one.
And I feel like it's super, I feel like I know where the answer's going, but that makes it all the better for a first question for love. When you have to make a phone call, first of all, do you get nervous? And second of all, yeah, I figured that. How far do you go as far as reciting what you're going to say? Do you ever go as far as writing anything down?
Okay, so I've never written down, like, direct words, because if I write down direct words, I will stumble over them, and then I'm causing more of a problem.
Yeah.
So, like, just, like, general sentiments, like, especially the most important times that I had to do this were back when I was working for a big box retail store, and I would just have to call other stores in the area in order to check what their stock was and stuff like that, or call customers back to say, hey, come back and collect this off lay-by, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I would write down all of the important information beforehand.
Yeah.
That's about it. Other than that, I just straight up don't make phone calls anymore.
Yeah, I don't really either.
It's the realm of my partner. That's a dealing with humans thing. That's a peak thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way, except Greg doesn't like to make phone calls either. So I eventually, like, I make about half of them, and I oh my god, I hate it. My first experience with going all the way to write anything down, though, is I was applying for my first, like, job type thing. I wanted to, like, just volunteer. I wanted to volunteer at a local animal shelter, and they they called and they were like, they left a message for me, and they missed me, and then they're like, call us back. And I was like, oh my god. I didn't think it would get this far. And so I wrote down an entire. I was pretty young, but like too old for what I'm about to say. I wrote down the whole thing, and I waited. And on this day, it would stress me out more, but both of my parents were right by me while I eventually called them to leave a message. Because I was like, I'm calling, but oh my god, cross my fingers, answering machine. So I can go based off of what I wrote down, please. And then I left my really shaky young child, maybe prepubescent. No, I wouldn't be working. Dang, I must have been old. Why were my parents there? But then, yeah, they never called me back. They never called me back. I'm sure it's because I did such a bad
Maybe
job.
they were on the other end of that phone call, and as soon as they got your call that said, call me back, they were like, I can't call him back.
He's so professional.
I need my parents here. I can't slide them in from Tucson at this rate. Arizona is like the other side of the country. You kidding me?
We need to fill this position by Monday. This kid is overqualified. He clearly had the moral support of his parents. What can we do with that kind of power? But yeah, I definitely like. I still write. I get like a post-it note and I put bullet points down for sure. That's what I do now. Or if I ever need to do like whenever I've done like update videos or anything, like because yeah, I don't like. Ever since that, I've been scared off of reading off scripts. But I definitely do bullet points like for all my update videos. I literally open up a Word document and put like 5 bullet points. Like, talk about these, you dingus. Don't talk about your day.
Oh my god. Okay, so have you ever seen any of the State of the Channel videos I've done? You don't need to, it's fine.
I believe I have. Unfortunately, I don't think I've seen all of them. I'm not a real gamer.
You definitely don't have to. Those are all typically done in one take, and oftentimes they're between like 10 and 15 minutes. What will usually happen is I will like stand in front of the camera. I will have a bullet point list of like 10 to 15 things that I want to discuss. And then I will just kind of randomly vamp on them for as long as possible. Take the parts that I think are useful and not waffling, remember them, and redo it until I end up with a take that is completely flawless.
That is not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have to prepare it. It also does have the unfortunate result of, like, if I do come up with a joke off the cuff, I have to remember that for the next State of the Channel recording.
Yeah.
And try and recreate that moment.
Yeah, like let's bottle that lightning and get it to happen again. Oh shoot, we can't. What are you saying on paper here? We can't. Oh man.
No, you can bottle lightning. It's fine. Get a skill in your opening hand.
It's true. It's true. Oh my god. But yeah, I've never done it that way. That's a smarter way. Here's what I do. Here's my method whenever I have to do anything, and I kind of have to get an important message across. Like the beginning episode of a series, I need to make sure it starts off clean because it's etched in stone forever. And then episode 2 comes and I wing the hell out of it. Like I start going, oh, welcome back to Enter the Gungeon. Like I go crazy from then on. But episode 1 has to be super serious, and I record like 20 takes. I swear. When I was recording the first episode of Dicey Dungeons, I am not joking. I recorded the intro 10 times before I was okay with it, and I felt like I got all the information in correctly and quickly, and I was pleased enough with it. 10 freaking takes. I
have done exactly that numerous times. Have we ever done a series together where I had to intro the game type? I think I did it for the king, actually.
I was gonna say is I'm pretty sure for the king. For the king. But other than that, no.
Those are usually like beforehand. I'll have written down a word soup of the kind of genres that it is, and similarly, I will just do the same intro 10, 15 different times until I get the right one.
Yeah.
Orbital used to make fun of me so much for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the guts to make fun because it'd be like, all right, now it's my turn. Oh, I'm doing the same thing. Whoops. Exact same way. That's why, but like, I don't know. It's probably why you you could probably tell, and watchers could probably tell, when I'm like doing an intro for these or an outro for these, anything with another person, I just like, I don't even try to make it my normal intro. I don't even go close. That's why they're weird and abrupt, and that's why they're like, just the intros are, you know, like the third word is I'm already laughing about something completely different, because it's like, well, I don't know, I'm not even gonna try. If I was gonna try to go perfect, I would have to be like, all right, I'm gonna need to take 2, and I don't like doing that. I mean,
also, you do get more license to do those kinds of things when the people are already familiar with you. People are already familiar if they're watching this episode, typically.
It's true. So, Enter the Gungeon is a rogue crawling twin stick shooter.
It's a dungeon-like.
It's a dungeon-like twin stick shooter. Binding of Isaac with guns, Slay the Spire without cards, Darkest Dungeon but bright, you know. Yeah, there we go.
It's Rogue Legacy but top down.
Exactly. It's exactly all of those. But
when are we gonna get to the point where like a roguelike can come out without everyone saying, "Oh, it's this roguelike plus this roguelike"?
I don't know that it's ever going to happen unless it is so far removed, which I don't think will happen, because everyone who makes a roguelike these days is so clearly making it because they loved this other one, you know? It's what it seems like.
Sure, I mean, roguelike as a genre is a genre that was revived by people who got into the industry and revived games that they loved in their childhood. Like, there's a reason that Rogue and, like, the roguelike genre are 20 years apart.
It's true. Have you ever played Rogue?
I haven't, but the uniqueness of a roguelike that would have to, or that would make people stop doing that, I don't think it exists.
That's
I think
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying.
Because, do you remember Tumbleseed?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Tumbleseed. If that can't get away with it, you know, like, without being called, I'm sure, what was it called? You know, imagine Binding of Isaac rolling up a hill.
Rogue Legacy.
It was Rogue Legacy? Yeah, of course.
Legitimately, it had Rogue Legacy comparisons, yeah.
Yeah. If Tumbleseed can't get away with it, I don't think it can exist, because I think people want that. People want, it's like it's a more loose and harder to joke about, because it's like across a bunch of games version of the Dark Souls thing. Like, I don't think we'll ever get to the point where people are going to be like making fun of it as much as they did with the it's the Dark Souls of XYZ, because it's so much more broad.
But the thing is, like, surely, like, they share a comparison, both of those, in that they are, like, recently, possibly 2 of the examples of most recently emerged new genres, and both of them kind of have that, like, vagueness around the area of the definition of their genre. Now, yes, genre is a construct and blah, 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 like, genre is a construct, and add another letter and you get another construct. But this is the kind of thing that comes to the point of, do we need things like genre anymore? Because if I can't tell what a roguelike is without you telling me what game it's similar to,
just
what is the roguelike genre telling me?
It's not telling much, and that's like, and that's when we get even deeper. We like don't even mention the freaking beast of roguelike versus roguelite. You know,
oh god,
we're like that's not even touching that can of angry bees. Who put those bees in a can? But I don't know. Just like I still try to reteach myself, like, what really is the difference between a roguelike and a roguelite at this point? Like, how many things like the game Rogue does it have to have before I can change that T to a K? You know, like,
I think, like, literally no permanent progression is one of the big things.
Yeah.
That people say, like, a roguelite has possible permanent progression, whereas a roguelike does not.
Yeah. I think that's it. I've seen a lot of people say that it has to be a tile-based dungeon crawler. Turn-based, tile-based dungeon crawler. I've heard that it has to be that. I've heard Oh man. I mean, permadeath is like basically what do all these rogue games have in common? All these games, you die and you die forever, probably. even that's muddy. Even that's muddy. That's what's binding them. That's about it. It seems. So it's like
you can also add into that randomized elements, but because it's a game that's meant to be played in a bunch of instances, those randomized elements are effectively restating the previous, which is that permadeath exists.
Yes.
Those go hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, you ask when are we going to get a roguelite to come out? See, that's the roguelite to come out that doesn't have to be described as another game. When we have a more clear answer for what the hell is a roguelite. What the hell is a roguelite?
Are we ever going to have that?
And I don't think that's ever going to happen. Because it still hasn't. If it hasn't happened.
I don't think genres can solidify these days.
Yeah. I think that the games are going to come out. Dicey Dungeons is just going to be a Slay the Spire-like roguelike.
You laugh, but the reason I brought this up is because I saw someone on Twitter saying, oh, Dicey Dungeons is finally out. It's like Slay the Spire, but your cards are dice.
Yeah. Yes.
And that, like, I like Dicey Dungeons and I like Slay the Spire. That comparison, especially because it's by someone who is a critic in the games industry and I typically, like, really respect their opinions, is just like, man, come on. That's not helping purchaser decisions, and it's definitely not helping, like, either of the games mentioned, I don't think.
It's true. However, I was looking at because the Dicey Dungeons is out was like the number 2 or might even be the number 1 post on the games subreddit right now. And I looked in the comments, and I'm not kidding. People were like not getting that excited until one person said it's in the same family as Slay the Spire. And then everybody was interested. So you say that it's not helping either of the games. It's definitely helping Dicey Dungeons. It is, because...
as long as it is.
Yeah. I mean, should it be is maybe the bigger question. And I think no is the answer. But I think it's just... roguelike is just... everybody wants a roguelike, but nobody knows what it is. Mm-hmm. Is the situation we're in. Everybody wants a roguelike, but nobody can define it. They just know it when they see it.
Yeah, I was about to say, are we in I guess I'll call it the definition of art.
Yeah.
Where it's I'll know it if I see it.
Yeah, and that seems like it's exactly where we are. And it's like, I mean, just throw the word roguelite out. Nobody really even use it. People would get mad at me before for using roguelite versus roguelike in the wrong scenario, but it doesn't happen anymore. And I think it's because people gave up.
I think there were like certain large internet personalities who were barracking for that kind of thing, and people just took on kind of like the fervor of their arguments without maybe necessarily the strength of their arguments.
Yeah.
There was like a large group that just wanted to be mad about roguelike versus roguelike for a really long time.
Yeah. The only interesting point on the whole conversation that I can kind of get behind is, all right, like, it matters in the case of the way that Steam classifies the tags. Like, that's it. You know, like, if we don't know what these are and we're tagging them to things, we're making these groups that we don't understand, and everybody thinks that they're related, but somebody might be looking for a specific thing. Like, somebody might actually be looking for a turn-based dungeon crawler with permadeath and, randomly generated dungeons. And they don't want it to have these other things. Maybe somebody out there is actually looking for that, and they lost their word that they were gonna, search for. It's like, okay, sure. But it's like not, I don't know. I feel like
but like,
it's a small
survival
argument.
Game that has a hard mode, then I just read the list of features for that survival game and check if it has a hard mode.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a good argument. I'm saying it's the only one I could understand. Like, I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, I've stopped differentiating the two. So I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
It does feel like we are in the position that you mentioned before, where genres just aren't going to become defined past this point. Like you were talking in particular about roguelike and roguelite at that point. I think that just with the amount of games that are coming out, you don't have times for genres to really solidify. Like the last example would be Souls. And even then, we don't agree over whether Lords of the Fallen is a Souls-like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, where's the line? What group defines this? There's no Steam panel. There's no Steam panel to decide the tags. Everybody just kind of goes with what the reviewer might have said. And the reviewer doesn't actually know. The reviewer's going with what the developer might have said, and the developer's saying what's going to sell the most things. What's going to sell the most things? Dicey Dungeons is like Slay the Spire.
Yeah, exactly. Dicey Dungeons is basically Slay the Spire 2, and I would like everyone to check out the series that Reto is currently doing on it, the series that Reto has previously done on it. And also, if you check out mine, that'd be cool too.
You got a series on it now, or no? By the time this goes out?
Yeah, I'm starting a series on it. It should have come out yesterday, but I was lazy.
It's good that it didn't come out yesterday, because there was an embargo. Good deal.
Wait, what?
There was an embargo, so it's a good thing it didn't come out. Oh, wait, coming out yesterday by the time this video is? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
We're talking like movie magicians. What? I pull the curtain back all the time. I'm sorry.
No, wait, hang on. Was there the embargo on the full release version?
Yeah. It was only on the full.
Oh, okay.
So the full release version. Okay. Yes, yesterday, as of us sitting right here.
Yes.
Or wait. No, today, as of us sitting right here, was the first day you could post anything.
Oh, beautiful.
So, yeah.
I am glad to know this now.
It's one of those situations where it's like, I'm glad I made a mistake. Don't want the wrath of Terry Kavanaugh.
Yeah, extremely definitely don't.
The super...
Have you ever accidentally broken a embargo?
Accidentally? No. If I ever have, it was never brought to my attention, so I don't think so. There was a weird gray area. The embargo for Enter the Gungeon was confusing originally, and I studied it like a lot because it was one of the weird embargoes where it's like, don't play more than this amount and don't play past this floor.
The old Persona embargo.
Yeah, it was kind of a version of that, and it was unclear. It was unclear if I technically broke the rules, but I asked I can't remember who I asked at the time, but they said that I was fine. Even if I did, I was fine. Because I think that's like the rules are in place so nobody goes crazy, but it was just like I maybe went a floor further than I should have or something before the game came out. Maybe.
Yeah, you can usually tell like if this person is doing it maliciously or if this person's making honest mistakes.
Yeah.
So.
Like
I don't think anyone's looking for like no tolerance policies on those kinds of things.
Yeah. I noticed that people seem to break it a lot more, be a lot more loose with it, or careless with it on Twitch than on YouTube. YouTube, it's like, if you put the video up, there's a timestamp, baby. I mean, there is on Twitch too, but it's like, it's harder to deal with things live than it is to like. YouTube is really good at having people yell at somebody and take down a video. So. Which has never happened to me in that way. I've never broken embargo as far as I know. Have you? On purpose?
No.
On accident? No.
No. I haven't done it on purpose or on accident. I know that we have both worked with someone who has done it on accident.
Oh.
Which it was orbital with the series. It's fine. We've talked about it before.
Okay.
What had actually happened?
I liked that guy.
Was that something happened and he didn't get the embargo information? I believe what happened is he was contacted on Keymailer, whereas everyone else got theirs on on terminals. And on Keymailer, you have to pay like extra money in order to send information to the person you're sending the key to.
Okay.
And that information includes things like your embargo and your press kit and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
That's the monetization model for Keymailer. So he just didn't get the embargo. And another YouTuber who was like very interested in that game and was observing the embargo called him out on it, subtweeted him for like a bunch of time. And as soon as he eventually responded, was just super polite, like, oh, sorry, I didn't know that that was something that you were dealing with, that you didn't get the same embargo information. It's like,
yeah, like that happened with somebody. There was I don't know if I can't remember if it was Wizard of Legend or it's a Fate, but somebody else, because it's a bummer to be on both ends of that, you know. It's a bummer to be on both ends, because somebody else, like, I didn't report the person, but I was like, I did let them know. I was like, privately, I was like, just so you know, if you didn't get any embargo information, the devs might not be happy about this. But it's like, it's a bummer in both situations, because you're like, oh shoot, I'm sitting here patiently waiting for the embargo, and they accidentally, like, nobody's happy right now. You know? Everybody's sad. Yeah. Everybody's sad about this. Like, it's a bummer. So like, because that person didn't get the information either. And it's just like, it's not their fault. And now they're like, they're punished. And like, I don't know, what do? You take it down? It can be a death sentence, you know? It sucks.
It can be. Especially if it's like a publisher that you're working with or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how goes your dragon fight?
Pretty good. I'm on the heart.
Cool.
Are you?
I'm halfway through the dragon's HP, so you'll probably win.
We'll see. I am using my standard, but I also have a dueling laser, so I'll probably be okay.
You'll definitely win. I haven't got the dueling laser. I'm running the mega hand.
Good, but not a fast weapon. A very good slow weapon.
Unfortunately, it is Mega Hands, the Dungeon Eagle, the Hegemony Rifle, or Heck Blaster right now.
So. Yeah. Hegemony Rifle might be the best out of that, actually.
Yeah. I swapped to it as soon as I started looking at my weapons. I was like, hang on.
Which one did you switch to?
Hegemony Rifle.
Yeah, I that's one that I feel like I've had a bad taste in my mouth from the beginning, but then I'm like, wait, this is not bad? Like, did they buff this at some point? I don't know. Because it's okay. Like, it's completely okay.
Yep. It's fine. I did forget that I was playing the robot, though, so it's more accurate. Not that that matters in the dragon fight.
Just in case
how many times
you need
over the course of your entire Enter the Gungeon career would you imagine you have missed the dragon with a shot?
Oh, here's the thing. You would think it wouldn't be very much. Let me tell you why you're wrong. I feel like the internet. This is fun. No, you wouldn't think it'd be a lot. You wouldn't think it'd be a lot, but there's certain guns. Hyperlight Blaster. You cannot hit the dragon from the corner with the Hyperlight Blaster. And it is such a dragon gun. So I've used it a lot. And I've gotten in a situation where I'm like, why am I out of Hyperlight Blaster shots? Because that's a gun where it's super easy to know when you've missed, you know? And I'm like, okay.
I used to have that all the time with the heroine charging up against the wall. The bullet size of the heroine just getting too big and then clipping with the wall you're standing next to, disappearing, and it's like, oh, come on, I really needed that.
Yeah, that and the flame hand.
Oof. Yikes.
I'm
pretty much anything with heavy bullets.
Pretty much anything with heavy bullets.
The heart is now dead.
I'm in the credits.
Yeah, I figured.
It was a
pretty close one overall.
It was a very close one, especially considering at no point did we mention which floors we were on, really. And
yeah, exactly. I just had the instinct that you were definitely on the dragon.
It was true. It was my tone of voice. It was my poker face that I don't have. It was seeping from my pores into my microphone. See, this is why I need to upgrade my microphone. It's getting all my my poker face pores juice. It's submitting it right through the tubes to you.
It's only going to take about $350 for you to upgrade all of the stuff that you're going to need so that I no longer know if you are currently in a dragon fight that I am currently.
Exactly.
I am
worth it.
It seems like a bad value proposition to me, bud.
You don't understand how fragile my ego is, if you think that.
That's fair. My apologies.
You better apologize. I'm hurting right now. Okay.
My sincerest apologies then.
Yeah.
As well as my sincerest congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Done.
Thank you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you next time. I'm never gonna go easy, but I'm always rooting for you. I'm like,
of course, never go easy. Please don't. I mean, I will
No.
cheat in order to make you go like slightly easier.
yeah, I did stop for like, I thought it was gonna maybe lose me. I would stop for like 30 seconds on the beginning of the Forge to look up the questions for love again, but I didn't. But I never even ended up asking them. But stay tuned for the next episode, I guess. And see
Exactly, where I will be trying very hard. It's going to be the paradox as well, so we will have randomized divergent starts.
I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
I'm looking forward to that. And we'll see that next time. We'll see if we're one question closer to falling in love next time as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Links in the description for everything that matters and more. See you next time.
Adios.